We didn't have any money. And so we both hunted deer, and Ken would come over here to hunt elk. Thanksgiving, Mildred didn't like that because sometimes he wouldn't make the dinner.
Mildred is my mother.
Yeah, she wouldn't like that. We'd miss dinner. But one time I decided I'd go with him. And there was we drove out there and got out of the car, and we started walking, and I was walking behind him. There was snow, so I was walking behind him, and he smelled an elk pea pile. And boom, he was gone. And I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where the car was. I didn't know where anything was. I just kept following his footprints, looking down at the footprints, and I literally almost hit the car. I eventually had gotten back just following his footprints. I thought, that's it. I don't know where I am. I'm never going to do this again. Thought it might die out there.
I'm not going to tell you how many elk I've shot. I shot about 70. The first elk that I shot 16 times.
I was 12 years old. And I was 12 years old.
No.
You weren't 12 years old?
I could have been 12 years old.
Yeah. Old enough to shoot it.
And I got it, we loaded it on a train and took it to Elgin.
Who were you with?
My dad.
Oh.
And Hoyt.
And Hoyt?
Hoyt Cox.
Oh. How'd you get this elk up here?
Oh, this elk I was with Gene over in Idaho. And I had flubbed up on several bulls, and I started seeing this tree going back and forth, and I realized it was probably an elk was rubbing its horns on that tree. And I was so close, when I put my scope up, all I could see was hair. And I shot it, and I turned, and I shot it again, and it turned, I shot it again, and it turned, I shot it again. I shot it 4 times, and it went down and went into a hole, and I never did know that it was a 7-point because one horn was like this. And I spent the night out there trying to get the head off of that carcass. And the next morning I got back to where the horses were.
That's when the horse was gone?
The horse was gone. And I walked back to camp. And that's why I still have sore lips because of that walk.
That's when he started getting cold sores.
Yeah.
And he got mad at your hunting partner.
I got mad at I never been hunting with Gene again. He said, I need a manual to hunt with you. I never will forget that.
Yeah. He said, you said you got back and were mad at him because you'd moved your horse. He'd brought the horse.
I said, I don't care whether the horse is gone or not, as long as its head is still tied to that tree.
He felt sorry for the horse, the hunting partner did, and moved it. Left him high and dry out there.
I was over in Hell's Canyon, and that was with Tom. And the mule went upside down, fell off the trail, and went upside down in this tree. And the beer was coming out of the pack boxes, so we cut the tree down, and the mule came out of that tree, and down the hill it went, and we got it back up on the trail and went on. That mule is called Ruby Begonia. I was with Ed, and Ed said, that mule acts like a Democrat.
So her name was Hillary Clinton.
So her name was Hillary Clinton. And she's old. She's very, very old.
But you'd never know it. Her pack saddle, Ken bought Hillary, at Somerville. And he went out in the field and he said, I'll buy that mule if she'll get in the truck. And put the ramp down in the truck.
She wouldn't go in.
She wouldn't go in. Wouldn't go in. Wouldn't go in. Wouldn't go in. I was waiting in the house there with the lady. Wouldn't go in. Finally, they put the ramp up opened the other door that was.
She jumped in.
She jumped in. Just in there. And her pack saddle, bought her pack saddle for,
$50
at a yard sale.
at a yard sale.
It was broken. The support board on it was broken. Each mule has their own pack saddle. So it fits them. And she likes that one. And one year, we got her a new pack saddle and put it on her. And took her into, where were we going with Steve?
Steve,
Kramer.
we went into Wood Lake.
Wood Lake. She hit every tree.
Broke his pole.
Broke his fishing pole, every tree. She didn't like that pack saddle. We got back down, took it off, put her old broken one back on. She never hits a tree. She hauls out antlers, just bends and weaves, and she likes her broken one. If we ever sell her, we'd have to sell the broken pack saddle with her.
I never will forget, that cougar was about that big, and the dog, we only had 2 dogs, and the first night and the last night were the only time we had both dogs in camp.
They were chasing cougars.
They were chasing cougar, and that dog and that cougar were about that big.
That far away
And
from them, they looked
we
like that.
took off down there, and I thought, I'm going to get me some of these dogs, and then I thought,
You don't know a single...
I don't know a single person who was with the same woman that he started with when he started with those dogs.
We got hounds.
So I quit that.
That dream was over.
That dream was over. I stayed with the same woman. And I got that cougar. That's one of them downstairs. And then the second time I went over there, I went with the guy from Idaho.
I don't remember his
And there
name.
were 6 dogs that time. And we spent a long time before I finally got the cougar. And then the third time I went was with Bill Hosford. And we were coming out. We had not killed a cougar. And we were coming out, and just before we got out of the wilderness boundary, we ran across the track, and he and the guy that was with us took off and went and got that cougar. And I took the horses down and tied him up and put up the tent and went to sleep, and about midnight they came in. And they had killed that cougar. And that's the only one that we ever got that went into the Boone and Crockett record book. Length and width of the skull.
Right, though. We're not the most sentimental people.
Went up Trail Creek and down on Barton Heights, and I got up on this deer. I was following a deer track, and all of a sudden this cougar went, "Row!" and I went the other way.